Hello guys, this is Jacob. Today I'm making a video to show you how to build a end-to-end marketing automation flow using n8n. It's AI multi-agent pipeline. So hopefully this will help you to build your marketing automation um, and help your business. That being said, let's get started. First, we go to the n8n.io website. Basically n8n is comparable to Make.com or Zapier. So basically helps to automate the workflow in the business. But it's open source, it's free if you do a self-hosted. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to build that on Kaggle.com. So their documentation is in the docs.n8n.io, so you can free to check that out. How to set up the environment variables, how to install it with npm, Docker, or server setup in the latest machines. So it's pretty good documentation. Feel free to check that out. So let's go to Kaggle.com to see how it was built in Kaggle. So first, we have to create a function to run a bash command within Python environment. Uh, you can copy the command. It's like a util, so you can use it. And then you just need to do a pip install with ngrok and py ngrok. So this to expose the services inside kaggle.com to public URL. So essentially, you'll be able to access it via the public URL. And then you just copy and paste the ngrok token from ngrok console, and then you'll be able to set the configuration for ngrok. And lastly, you just have to map ngrok public URL, which is this one you see here. Right now we have the 45E3 to a local host, which is in the Kaggle notebook. So it's running on 5678. So basically, you just have to map the public URL from ngrok to a local host 5678. So that's it. So then you'll be able to basically run an n8n on public URL. And next, you basically just have to install a PS MISC, the mix package, to basically to end the node process if there's any problem, so you can restart it easily, but that's optional. And you have to basically start up the n8n via this command. So this is the last command you have to run. So the first, you have to set up a couple of environment variables. Just make sure that n8n is processing a public URL instead of localhost. So you have to set up, like, say, host domain. So this is basically your public domain, we just saw from the previous step. And then we have to set up the n8n host using the public domain, and also we have to set up the protocol as HTTPS and the Vue app URL based API, and then the webhook URL, which is the external service is going to call, like Google or other service. When they do a callback, you want this to be public URL instead of localhost. Then you have to set up the editor based URL. This is your basically the UI URL. And then you have to run a npx-yes n8n. So that's it. So this is gonna spin up the n8n on Kaggle localhost and also expose that publicly. So let's go to the public URL that we set up, which is the 45E3. So here's the n8n workflow. So you can see that's already been spin up and also run. So I basically built a workflow so that you can see how it's done step by step. So this is basically a workflow that asks a user to fill out the form and then basically go through the multiple AI agents. So it'll basically let the user to register and then send him a welcome message. Also ask him to sign a contract, which is like the term of service. Eventually, it's gonna run a couple of components or a few process, then it basically processing the AI agents multiple times, and then you basically be able to send an email to the user. So the first sub pipeline is for the welcome message, and the second part of the pipeline is for a terms of service. So let's check them one by one to see how it was set up. So first, we check out the n8n form trigger. So you can use a lot of forms, but we use the n8n default form. So if you go to the n8n right side of the navigation panel, you can search for form. So this is a default form, just an n8n form trigger, and you can use the other like SurveyMonkey type form, and also job form, all these type of forms is free to choose, but we just use the n8n default form for the demo purpose. So if you click the n8n form, so basically we just have to add the fields I want to see on the form. So like you can add form fields. So in this form, we added basically the name of the user. You can see it here on the right side as well. So we have the full name, the email address, the company name, industry, and the services provided, or services required, and the start date. So that's all the fields you have to add for this this type of usage case. And then um, basically just hit test tab. Also, you can see that it's actually test its own public URL instead of localhost. So that's why we have to set up all this environment in the Kaggle notebook. So then basically you can test for this URL. Okay, just click test step. So then this will actually trigger a form. So that means you be able to see, let's see if we can actually load this on the terminal, on the actual browser. So let's copy that and then basically load that in the browser. So this will actually let you to fill out the form like, so basically this is the form dash test and then terms of service. So TOS, you can name it whatever you want. So this is basically the information that we filled out earlier in the first step in the form. So we give the full name, let's say we call it Alex, and then the URL is alex at example.com. And also like the company name is probably, let's say, Example Inc. or ABC Inc. Right, ABC Inc. And then also like industry is tech industry. So service provider, let's say app dev, web devs, and the SEO optimization, and also marketing strategy. So and then the start date is basically a, let's say, 20th. So let's then we submit the form. So you see the form is submitted, and you can see from our dashboard, you see node executed successfully. So that means the information is entered. So you can see this is what we filled out on the form. So that's basically the first step we have to test. So then we go back to the canvas. So now the first step is done, and then second step we basically map whatever we filled in the form to a database field. So you can actually we just copy exactly the same name as the fields. So we can use different name, but we just use basically the name that we have on the form. So like the full name, your email, and also the company name, industry, and services required, and the start date. So this is basically to map the data field. This is optional. And next, we just have to go through the agent, like multi-agent process using AI. So then first we have to send the user a welcome message. So how to draft a welcome message, right? So we just say we add an agent. So AI agent, you can search it on the left side. So you can say search it on the left side. So AI agent, advanced AI. You can just add an AI agent here. So and then basically we use the chat as a Grok chat instead of OpenAI or other paid models. We just use Grok, and also they're all using like open source models from Google, Facebook, etc. So then we use AI agent, and then we select the agent as a conversational agent, and then we basically define a prompt. So instead of fixed prompt, we use expressions because we want to use the data from the previous step in the workflow and to fill that in this AI step. So so this is basically the prompt we generated. So you can see basically we generate a prompt, and that prompt is basically just saying write a personalized welcome email to the user inputted email from the our basically the Jacob Dab workshop, which is like just a simple name you want to use. Maybe you can put your business name here. And then basically they're in the industry, which is user filled in, so you can see everything is basically filled in by user. So and we just compose it as a email template or as a prompt template, so they can actually ask the AI agent to generate the response. So let's go back to Canvas, or maybe first test it. We just test the step. So you can see actually they generated a response from the user's input and the template we provided. So let's go back to the Canvas. So you can see this section runs successfully and via the Grok. So if you want to set up Grok, just go to grok.com and then you can set up a free account. You grab the basically these API keys. So then grab the API key and you can fill it in here. So just add it. You can get it, fill in the API key. You should be connected to Grok. And then you can select the model. We used basically the Lava 3.170B versatile. So this is one of the very popular model on Grok. So and then when we run that, we can be able to generate a response from the prompt, from the user input, and it's basically the welcome message. So, and then we just say, okay, we want to format these welcome messages. What we don't want to use a raw response from the AI model, but we want to actually reformat it to a email comfortable format. So, and then you can see from the response, it says, "Dear Alex, we're thrilled to welcome you to Jacob Dev Workshop. On behalf of our entire team, I would like to express our excitement to collaborate with you in the tech industry." So this is basically AI generated response, and we want to format it so that it will more have a subject and title. So if you look at the uh, prompt, we ask the AI agent to reformat the response. We basically want to take the content as a basically the output from the model and response. So it's JSON output, which is you can see from the left side. The AI agent, the first output is the raw response. We want to take that as an input from the next step of the workflow. And then we say the content is we want to parse the JSON output, which is output from here, right? JSON output, we want to convert that JSON output to a subject and body. So we want to convert the output as a email-friendly output. So and want to actually make it a JSON format because we want to make this more fit to this entire automation workflow. So you can say, okay, only speak in JSON and do not write normal text, and give them an example so that the AI agent know what to output. So if you basically enter. So let's say just use this prompt template. Let's go back to Canvas. We can use this tested to see if you can format that correctly to uh, a basically a subject and also body format. So you can see this actually body is actually a subject as a basically a JSON format instead of normal text. So this is good. And then let's go back to Canvas. You can see that's a string. So we want to convert that to a JSON object. So to do that, we basically have to um, convert the string to a Python object because they use a web Python, so it's a little bit different than the local Python. So it's basically PyLDite, right? So that's what actually the web Python is named, and then we just convert that to a normal Python object, and then you can see from the left side there's basically just loop through the Python JSON object. You can see the Python object and then we loop through like the JSON, and then the choice is zero messaging content, so we get the content from here. So then we convert that content to a JSON object just using JSON.loads, so we convert that to a JSON object. So and we can test that out. So you can see it's actually converted to a JSON object instead of the regular string. So let's go back to the canvas. So the next step, we want to send out this whole response from the AI and user input to the user as a welcome message. So you can see this is the output from the previous step, which is called a build JSON. So I have a subject, right? Subject is welcome to Jacob Dev Workshop. Then the body is the one that we processed in the previous steps. So, dear Alex, we're thrilled to welcome you to the Jacob Workshop. So the nice thing about building this JSON is that you can just use it directly inside this template of the Gmail component. So you can see we just use JSON subject, which is corresponds to the JSON subject, and the JSON body, which corresponds to JSON body. So we just put it, and then we do a test step. So before doing that, make sure that you set up a Gmail account credentials. So if you don't know how to set it up, we can just do another video to set it up, but I won't cover in this video. So basically, we just have to create a Gmail API public key and secret key, and then you put it in here. make sure that the callback URL is a public URL, which we actually use it for this demo. It's 45E3 for this demo. You can have your own domain, own URL, but you have to set up in the Gmail account. You also have to go to the cloud.gmail, cloud.google console so that you can actually fill in the callback URL as well. So after that, it just test it. So then this will actually create a Gmail draft. So instead of doing like label master threads, we create a draft, and operation is create. Instead of delete and get, we just do a create a draft. So using the content, we actually build in the pipeline. So and then we just do a test step. You can see it's actually created. Also, we can check the Gmail to see the draft is created. So look at this. So the email draft is created. So welcome to Jacob Dev Workshop. You can see this is the content. It actually automatically generated from the pipeline. So next, let's go back to the canvas. So next, we're gonna basically build the terms of service, like terms of basically ask the user to sign the contract, right? So so then we go through the second sub pipeline. So then you go to the AI agent. So we're also using the Grok as the AI agent model. So then we still take the same input from the previous steps, and the user's name, email, and company name, industry, and the service required. Then what we have to do, first we select the tool agent. The first one we did like the conversational agent, but this time we do tools agent, and we also build a prompt. You can see it here. The prompt basically we want to generate terms of service and a contract for the user from the Jacob Dev Workshop. We use the information the user input, and then we're basically just saying we want this response to have a introduction outlining the purpose of the contract. We want to have the scope of the services, payment terms, and obligations of both parties, terms and conditions, including liability clauses and section of a client signature. So we want the AI agent to generate that. So we'll see that in a little bit. You can see on the right side, it's basically pre-filled information from our data, which is really nice. So let's close this, and then I just click test tab. You can see the response from the AI agent to generate these terms of service. So let's click. You can see on the right side, it's basically thinking and generated these terms of service and contract document. So basically, you can see that's actually a really concrete and very detailed template for terms of service. So let's go back to Canvas. So this step is completed, and we use the Grok AI model agent. And then next, we just make sure that this string we just saw is well formatted, so that it will basically fit into the email format, so like very easily to tap into the email. So you can see on the left side, it is output from the previous step, which is from the AI agent, generate the term of service. And what we want to do is ask the Grok to reformat the output to a basically a JSON-friendly format or JSON-friendly string, so we can convert to JSON later. So you can see from the prompt, we basically just ask the agent again to see, okay, we want the output from previous step, and then we want the system to parse the JSON and output to be title and body. So we want the left side of the output to have a be basically as a title and body. And only in speaking JSON, do not write normal text. We give them example. Here's what we want the model, AI model to output as a JSON, and then the parameters definition is title is extract only the title field, and the body is extract only the body field. Also combine all the other fields into a single text block and format it like an official contract. And data in the field can be loaded using Python JSON.loads. So this means that when we actually push this data to next step, it will be easily loaded as a JSON object, because sometimes it will fail if it has some formatting issues of the string. We just make sure, or at least do the best to make sure that the JSON can be loaded in JSON, so the string that's from the response. So let's go back to Canvas and then just run a quick test. So you can see basically it's going to generate a response from the AI agent to actually give a title. You can see the title and body from the previous output. So, so let's go back to Canvas. And then so this step is completed. Then we have to build that JSON friendly string to the actual JSON. So let's build terminal of service JSON. So then you can see that there's a title here. This is the content is from the output of the previous step. So this is input from this step. And then we're gonna basically to just take the message content this the same as the welcome message. So we take this as a string and convert that to JSON. So basically take the string and then we convert that to JSON. So let's just test it out to see if it actually have a title and body as a JSON. Let's test out. Okay, so that's good. So then we have the title and body as a JSON output, as a JSON object. So let's go back to Canvas. And lastly, we just do a Gmail. Also, we'll have to attach the Gmail credentials from the same as the welcome message. So then we basically also the same, we want a draft, we want to create a draft, right? We want to create a draft. So just for the demo purpose, you can actually do just messaging or just do a direct email. But right now we just do a draft. So then you can see we directly take the title and put it in the subject line, and we put a body context as a body message content. So you can also check the preview, the content, which is really nice. I really like the preview feature. And then um, after that's done, we just click test. Then you should be able to see a draft created in a Gmail account. So let's just test. So you can see this draft is created. Let's go back to Gmail. So let's click draft. You see this is actually created, terms of service and contract document. So you can see we have two email created. One is for the welcome message for Jacob Dad Workshop. The other one is terms of service. You can see it's really nicely written, and also have a client signature and a client name, title, date, and the service provider signature is really nice drafted. So let's go back to Canvas. So this is actually successfully run as a two pipelines. Then if you want to actually do a Discord or send to a Slack, it's all doable. Like you just have to attach this component. You can search for Slack. They have a Slack option. You can also Discord. You can also send the message to Discord as well. So make sure you have the bot token, and then just set it up in here, right? So just set up the Discord bot account and just set up the token. You can just set up the token in the bot discount. So that's it. So this will give you basically an end-to-end sort of idea of how to create a marketing automation using n8n as comparable to Make.com and Zapier.com. So hopefully this is helpful. And lastly, we want to show you guys if you want to save everything that you're building here instead of just lost the work. So you can just click the upper right side, click download. So we'll download the JSON. And next time, if you want to use this again, you can just do an import from file. Or if you have a public URL or a public uploaded to somewhere, you can just import from URL. So that's it. So hopefully this is helpful. This is going to help you to build end-to-end marketing automation pipeline and help you to build your business workflow automatically. And if you do like this video, please subscribe, comment, or like. And thank you so much. And hopefully this is helpful, and thanks for supporting the channel, and see you in the next one.